Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, the domestic goddess, with some really weird hair things going on tonight in the paddy wagon.
Yeah, if you notice, we got our Christmas backdrop going, and it's actually a green screen thing, so we haven't got the lighting quite right yet. But
that's okay. Can I sing a Christmas carol tonight?
No. Maybe a short one later.
Play the introduction.
When we have to. So actually, we need to say we got a great show for you tonight. We got a new find here, and we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah's been over for 3 weeks.
I know Hanukkah's been over for 3 weeks, and also we want to wish you a very happy Festivus for the rest of us.
That's
okay.
Right.
Yeah, right.
If you have any grievances to air, throw them in the chat, and now play the introduction.
No, play the introduction. I'm getting there. Alrighty, we're back. Okay, so tonight we want to talk about a new find, which is found in October of this year near a place called John Day. And I kind of did a little hint last week before we left to do some homework. And if you could tell me what is the cool thing about what's the world's largest organism that lives in John Day, Oregon? It's in the world's largest organism on the planet. And a lot of you people got it right. You know what it is?
It's a fungus.
It's a fungus, yes. There's
a fungus among us.
It's the biggest mushroom on the planet. So
yeah, fix the sliding. Either that or I'm just going to cut my hair into spiky. Oh, that's...
There you go. All right, so tonight...
What if I did David Bowie spikes?
All right. So what if I did? Oh, wait, I got to have hair first, right?
I think you completely shaved it off tonight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to bring on a good friend of ours. His name is John Melland, and he's from John Day, Oregon. Hi, John.
Hi.
Yep, and he's wearing the best T-shirt ever. No.
The second best. It was the best last summer.
It was the best last summer, but now it's
the
Squatch American logo. But anyway, yeah, that's one of our T-shirts from back in the day. And
actually,
it's so proud of it.
It's like a collector's item.
Yeah, there you go. Now
when we start going back to fairs, we really should sell those for like $50 a piece instead of $5 because they're collector's editions.
Yep. And I noticed Papa Craig in the chat got it right. He said there's 2,300 acres of a honey mushroom. Mycelium.
That's a sciencey word.
Yeah, it is. So actually, we were going to go down and do a video about that, and I never got there before the snow flew. So maybe we'll go down in the springtime. So we'd like to say hi to all our peeps. Renee, Pappy's in there. Donna, hi Donna. Daniel, hi Daniel from California. Donna's from Vermont. Renee's from Oregon here. Papa's from like right next door to us. And that's all we got. So
right now, there are any lurkers on there, throw up a Merry Christmas
and
or a Super Squatchmas or whatever you want to call it, yeah. Or a Happy Festivus. Like I said, if you've got a grievance, throw it in the chat. I want to have the airing of grievances.
All right. So
it's hard to do feats of strength.
So actually, we introduced John and didn't let him talk. We're the worst hosts ever. All right. So hi, John. So John, you're from John Day, right?
Yeah.
All right. So get a little background. How long have you been interested in the Bigfoot phenomena?
Since I was age 6.
Wow. Okay.
Only because my parents exposed me to it at a young age. Especially my mother, she was into that thing. And she even bought a couple of John Green's books when we lived here in Oregon back in the mid-70s. So I got a chance to read those a few times, and those are pretty interesting reads in themselves.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know many Bigfooters that haven't started with those books. Yeah, so myself included. So, so anyway, and you've been around the United States a few times, and was this your first experience of actually finding any evidence, or have you before?
I actually seen about a 10-inch track when I was 6, maybe 7 years old, on the western side of the Cascades. We were coming back to John Day from Eugene, Oregon, and I had to go to the bathroom. So my parents pulled over on the side of the road, and I'm going, and I actually stopped and opened the front door and pushed my mom over into the middle of the seat, and I said, "Let's get the hell out of here," and she's like, "Why? What's out there?" And I'm like, "I've seen some Bigfoot tracks." So she was all excited, and she made us get back out of the car, and so we looked at them, and they came from one side of the highway out of the forest, which looked like a jungle. Because the west side of the Cascades, they get all that rainfall. So it was kind of like a rainforest type of where we were at, and there was a really nice set of tracks that went right into that black sand that's right on the side of the highway, and made some really nice impressions. And it went back into the forest on the other side of the highway. So that was kind of interesting. And then this is out in the middle of the mountain somewhere.
All right. Yeah, over on the west side of the Cascades, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And that's probably what, Bend, Redding area? I don't know. So
Yeah, around.
Let's see, what's that mountain range between there? It's not the
Ochocos.
Ochocos?
The Ochocos.
Ochocos, or however
yeah.
you say it.
Ochocos.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool.
Okay, well, let's get to the find.
Let's get to the find.
Come on.
All right. So, how many of you now this is very interesting. I know a lot of people who just drive by the freeway and never look at the side of the road. Or never look out the windshield. Ever, but
hey, I've got to get my beauty sleep when I can.
So,
and let me tell you what, I'm a high anxiety rider, and so if I'm sleeping, I'm not panicking.
right.
It's true.
That's true.
So, I'm always scanning the side of the roads when we go by, and a lot of people don't realize this, but we have got, this is not the first report that we've got from on the side of the road, actually in the John Day area. So there was about 2 years ago, another gentleman sent us a report that they found on the side of the road just outside of John Day. And I don't know, he couldn't tell me exactly where it was at. So, but it was in the snow.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a photo here. Let's
Even
see.
Expedition Bigfoot liked the John Day area.
Yeah.
Go figure.
You know, the first season of Expedition Bigfoot was filmed in, what's that little town? Mitchell?
Mitchell. Between John Day and Bend.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
In case you didn't know that, that's where it was filmed.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a small little town.
Yeah. So here's your side of the road, and look at that. So what caught your eye?
When I was driving from the main highway up that road, I noticed those big footprints that looked really out of place. So I had to pull over, turn around, and go back and look at these things, because they look pretty big compared to the deer tracks that I see a lot of around the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pulled over and looked, and they looked like human footprints, like the typical Sasquatch track. And I got my measuring tape out and I had to measure the length of the foot and the longest stride length that was there. I measured that,
Mhm.
and I tried to do an assessment of what maybe even taken place because they go up to where the deer tracks are at, and then they come back down the hill, and the deer tracks end at the same point. So I'm assuming
Oh, I see.
that maybe it was out hunting and ran up that hill and snatched a deer, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I see that. There's one of
And
the
the
photos
deer
you sent me.
tracks
This one
are
here.
near the
This one
top.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is the green line the deer tracks or?
yeah. The green line is in that disturbed soil that looks like it's coming down the hill. That at roughly a
Over here.
40-degree angle. That's the
Yeah.
deer tracks. My feet, I wear a size 11, and those are next to or left of the red line,
Okay.
and the Sasquatch
It's right here.
tracks are right of the blue line.
Yeah.
Okay. Right there. Well, that's kind of cool
And
because this is typically what deer will do. They'll zigzag or do a Z pattern up a hill if it's really steep like this.
Like those big footprints.
And the big footprints go straight up.
And they're twice the size of John's feet.
Yeah. Right there.
So tell me, John, how challenging was it to go up that like you did?
it was pretty difficult because it was really loose, rocky soil, and it was sliding out from underneath me.
Yeah.
So I was really struggling to get up just that far, just to see what I
you got
could
up
see
pretty.
from that point.
You got up pretty far for a human.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
If I tried to go up that, I'd just fall backwards and bonk my head. It would not happen.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So,
And the track size when I measured them were about a little over 16 inches,
mhm.
and the longest stride between two tracks from toe to heel was 46 inches, 48 inches, somewhere around that area.
Wow. Yeah, I was looking at some of the tracks here that you got the close-ups on, and I was going to flip the slide, but I can't because Hannah's typing. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that one there was really kind of, that looked like they had a little side slide when it walked into it.
Yeah. Yep.
You can see the slides, can't you? I'm not sure. Yeah.
And I wanted to put my foot next to it to give kind of like a size comparison.
Yeah.
It's like one heck of a big foot. No pun intended, for reals. And I do intend most of my puns, and that was not intended. That is huge.
Yeah, I've got some of your measurements here, and this is the one you said where it was about the track length
Yeah.
is running from.
I just took a picture of that, but the one that's a close up of the measuring tape was more close to the actual measurement.
Oh,
I
okay.
just wanted to show that I had a measuring tape on it.
Yeah,
Because it was hard to stand there and take a picture and hold the measuring tape.
Yep.
It was a pretty steep hill.
Been there, done that. Yeah. So, was it this one?
Yeah, yep. Oh, the one on the left is the actual measurement of the foot
Right.
at about 16 inches.
Yep, I see that. Yeah. I actually counted one of the other. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to skip this slide real quick. All right, and this is one of the footprints too, and this is one that
Yeah,
I
I
actually found
think
really interesting.
I think that's one of the where the heel was at, maybe.
Hmm. Well, I saw some interesting thing in this, and I know this is really loose gravel, so the prints aren't going to be really perfect. But what I kind of noticed in this photo, I blew it up and actually got some really. I changed the colors of it and stuff like that, so I could see
Oh, cool.
some of the shadows and stuff. But what I picked out of it was this. I could see where the toes were across here, and the front pad of the foot, and then the rear pad of the foot back here.
And in the pressure ridge, kind of in the middle.
Right, and that's why I put this here,
Mid-tarsal break.
the mid tarsal break that
Yeah.
in the middle. And actually, Donna, who's in chat right now, she cast some prints that were similar because you had the heel in the front of the foot, but there was nothing in the middle because it was in sand, and the arch in the center of the foot, the mid tarsal break didn't even
Oh,
touch the dirt at all.
wow.
And it looks something similar to this
Oh no.
too, where you had the front half and the back half. And then if we compare these two, what I was looking at was you can actually see in the center here where this thing slid down the hill sideways a little bit
Yep.
because of the weight. So you got this ridge on this one side, and I could almost make out the toes up here in the top, but I wasn't sure. And then, but you can definitely see the mid-tarsal break in the middle of it because there's a part that didn't get slid over right here. If you look at it,
So it's just like the top part of his
yeah,
foot
this is
slid.
deeper than the front part, but you can still see the mid-tarsal break in the middle.
So
Right there.
he kind of dug his heel in while he slid.
In the front, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's slid
Where's
sideways,
the toes there?
yeah, I
Okay.
think they're up here somewhere. But stuff slid in, and
Yeah.
so you can't really tell. So that's what I thought was really cool about that photo. And then, of course, the steepness of the hill and the distance between them was really cool.
It says the audio is choppy.
The audio is choppy. Okie dokie.
Are we not? Okay. So just so everyone knows, we're going to take a quick break here so Scott can fiddle with the audio technology. We actually added, we put in a new mixer board here, which will somehow, I don't know, sync all of our computers to the same sound system because I do audio work for, anyway. So
Yeah.
please bear with us.
Please bear with us. So I maybe
Can it be the
that might have
weather?
helped. I'm not sure. Oh, it might be because of him too. It might
Him
be
who what?
I might be picking him up.
Oh. Anyway, while the technophile here is still doing the things, where does everyone drop it? Okay, drop in the chat what you're doing for the holidays. Yeah. What are you doing for the holidays? Is this for me?
That's for you. And while we're doing this, I need to switch something real quick here. Oh, these live shows on the fly kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea what this does. But anyway, yes, we are.
So throw in the chat if we're 5x5 now, if we're okay.
Is that sounding any better? And tomorrow night, Scott is making his famous shrimp cocktail for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
So why don't we take our quick
Oh.
commercial break real quick and
Okay. All right. So show me the slides, and then we'll get to questions.
then we'll get to questions
Yeah.
with John.
Oh, Donna says the sound is much better now.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the slides. Okay, so
I'm trying to find them.
He's trying to find the slides, so-
Here we go. Number one.
number one, what are we talking about? Oh, yes, please go to squatchamerica.com and order your merch.
Mm-hmm.
Merch is really important to our endeavors as Squatch America, and Actually, you cannot get these shirts anywhere but our website. They do not exist. You cannot go down to H&M or Target or Walmart or anything and get these shirts. You have to get them from us. So go to squatchamerica.com/ whatever it is. You'll see it up
Shop.
in the tab. /shop. That's it. If you want other branded merch like the hats or mugs or phone cases for your iPhone or your Android, we are a mixed marriage here.
Yeah, we are.
I am an iPhone and he is an Android. So we are a blended family. But we have cases for both. We have water bottles and
blah, blah,
camp
blah.
mugs. You can get it there
All that
also.
stuff.
And books and posters and all sorts of things. So anyway, Valentine's Day is coming really soon.
Right. It's too late to order for Christmas.
But Valentine's Day is coming really soon.
all right.
All right. And you can go to Patreon. Ooh, that's a nice little logo you made there. Very good. Patreon.com/SquatchAmerica to join our monthly supporters for $3 or $5 a month. And we would love to just welcome you into the tribe there. I do a handwritten welcome note. It's true. You can see my chicken scratch.
Yep.
For reals. What's next? Buymeacoffee.com/SquatchAmerica. You can give us a donation of $5 right there.
Without having to join the Patreon.
Without having to join the Patreon, and it's enough, basically enough to, it's not quite enough for his coffee, but it's enough for mine. And finally, if you, no ifs about it, if you're those of you who listen to what we're listening to, and even the mainstream media is now jumping on the bandwagon that the food supply is really threatened. So, stock up now on emergency food. We have enough for about 3 months apiece for each of us, and it is actually really comforting to know that that if for whatever reason the grocery stores cannot serve us, we have our food from My Patriot Supply ready to go. This food is good for up to 25 years when stored in the proper conditions, and it's actually not horrible. It's not my cooking, but it's not horrible.
Okay. All right, so commercial break over. All right, so if you want to throw your questions for John in the chat.
We've got some questions.
We do?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, let's bring John back up here.
Let's bring John back up.
Howdy, sir.
And let's go back up here. I saw quite a few. All right, let's see. Yes, okay. Papa, tell Nana that I feel her pain. Okay. So our first... And he says he must drive like you. Actually, my husband is a very safe driver. I'm just high anxiety in the car. Okay, so Donna asks, this track made me wonder if Bigfoot has difficulties walking down downhills because of their gait.
That's a great question. Do you know what? I have not
ever thought about that.
I'm trying to think of all the tracks that I've seen in my lifetime and that through people who sent me stuff, and I don't remember seeing a trackway going down. Believe it or not, that's kind of weird. They might just jump. I don't know.
If they go downhill like I do, it's a surprise that they've even survived.
Right. But I do know that the trackways going up, like what John has found, they're surprisingly how fluid the steps are. I mean, did you notice that, John?
Yeah.
On yours? How fluid the steps were?
It's almost like it had no problem getting up or down, really, without sliding, and it was almost like it was walking on flat earth. Almost looked to it, which is really weird because it was kind of steep, and unless it was running really fast and was able to use the opposing force from gravity, from I don't know, kind of like a centrifugal force, like when you're going in a race car on a curve, and maybe that's how it was able to get up and down. But yeah, the steps or the footprints are really placed well, I guess, and not a whole lot of sliding involved in going up or down, really.
Yeah, that's something I noticed too, and I think it's because of the way their foot is shaped, and the way they walk, because like we walk. When we take a step, we lock our knees and vault over our hips. That's why we bounce when we walk. But when they walk with what's called the compliant gait, and so they keep their knees bent, and since their foot stays flat and bends in the middle, they don't have to vault over their hips. They're basically walking like we would crouched. If we crouch down and walk, that's kind of the way they walk normally. It's like they're stepping over high grass all the time too, and so when their foot comes down, it comes down flat, as opposed to ours come downhill and rocks forward. That's what causes us to get off our slide or whatever. If they're sitting flat and they push straight down, I think that helps a lot. And that's something I kind of noticed when I found a trackway similar to this. Not this many footprints. We only found 3. How many footprints were up that hill? I'm trying to count. I'm looking.
I didn't count how many.
Right. So,
8 or 9?
8 or 9, yeah.
And I actually looked all over that area and didn't find any other tracks. I went up that hill, the opposite hill, up and down the road. They were only there on the side of that hill. I don't know if it came down the road from up the road or down the road further.
Was there a cut bank on the other side of the road too, across from it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were some deer tracks coming down that side, but that was it.
Wow.
I thought I'd see more tracks somewhere, but I think I'd really have to do a lot of exploring up and down that road to find out where it came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the trackway I found too was similar to this, up a cut bank on a hill, and then when it got up on top, the tracks just disappeared. So it was kind of it must have been the surface is way harder. The substrate on top is probably way harder, and they can't not leave in tracks.
Yeah, and it was pretty dry this past year too, so everything was dry, hard, not much for moisture this past year. I also was wondering, do you think the weight had anything to do with the ability to get up and down that hill really easy?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think they slide as much as because they compact the soil so hard with their weight. That makes a lot of sense what you just said there. It could be if something 600 or 700 pounds are hitting the ground, it's going to just stay there. It's not going to slide. And yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay, awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
All right.
Is that a question?
So Danny is a question.
Oh, Dan, what's it say?
He says, have you ever found a fully intact skeleton and hide of a deer, cow, bear, elk over a year old? I wouldn't think so because it would rot and be scavenged.
I've seen a lot of skeletons, but nothing over a year old probably intact. They're usually scattered around because the predators and other small animals that drag them off and scatter the bones around.
And porcupines.
Yeah, that too. And actually, not so much down where John Day is here, where John is, but further north, like in Baker, where we are, which is only, what?
It's 2 hours north.
Yeah.
An hour and a half, 2 hours.
About an hour north. Up in the higher mountains, when you get into like the deciduous forests and the pine forests and stuff like that, there is an 1.5 inches of leaf litter or pine litter on the ground every year. So things get, and plus the moisture, it rots.
It's compost.
It's basically compost. And so that gets buried pretty quick. That's why you don't find dinosaurs in the Pacific Northwest. But you do in Wyoming,
Dakotas.
and Dakotas and stuff like
They
that
don't
because
have-
it's dry and it's not as
They
wet
don't
as
have
it
a
is here.
natural layer of mulch.
Yeah, on top of stuff.
So
So you need a dry deserty area, which John Day is kind of that way, but they do get snow and stuff down there. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pappy says that. Oh, I like this comment, honey.
okay.
By the way, good to see you here tonight, Pappy. We just love it when you're here. With the pitch of that bank, I'm surprised that it didn't bend forward to use the hands or go quadruped for a bit. I almost couldn't get that word out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's interesting too. That and the steep one I found, we did not find handprints.
Yeah, it's true. We did see, you know.
You didn't see any sign of handprints on that, did you, John?
No. No, I almost had to use mine to get up that hill, but
yeah. The human did, yeah.
But no, I didn't see any handprints at all.
Yeah.
And Donna says, or have a huge heel imprint. And those heel imprints are they're pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Did I save a picture with?
Did you save a picture with the heel imprints? That one. So, yeah, the heel is way deeper than the front.
Is this going up or down? I'm trying to figure.
That's going.
I think one of them is going up, and there's one or two of the tracks that are coming down.
Oh, so they did have downhill. Okay.
Yeah, they went up and came down.
Oh, cool.
And that's in that picture is where the deer tracks and the Bigfoot tracks meet.
Wow.
And the deer tracks end there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking that maybe it went up and snagged a deer off that hillside when it was going up. Maybe because the tracks both intersect at that point, and the deer tracks end there, but the Bigfoot tracks actually come back down the hill.
Oh, the plot thickens. So yeah, all right. That's something I didn't gather from this. Wow.
So there was a little Bigfoot
where the
versus.
deer tracks are.
Uh-huh.
And that's where they stop.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
No, Mother
So
Mother
they say
Nature.
that deer tracks go across up here.
They stop right there.
They stop right here, and then the Bigfoot
they stop right there.
tracks come up the hill, and then they turn around and go back down.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, see, yeah, Mother Nature is beautiful and quite brutal.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's even more intriguing to me now. So. Wow.
So we've got some more people up. We got Bigfoot and Non with us. What's up, fam? I am so honored. We're fam. It's really weird, semi-dysfunctional Bigfoot family.
We are. There we go.
Oh,
That's something we're really kind of proud of with Squatch America. We really welcome everybody, and the weirder you are, the better off we are. But no, we.
so bring your interdimensional theories. We will welcome them.
She will.
Okay, Donna says we're losing audio again. I don't know if this is us then.
I don't know. It might be us.
I don't know.
That is crazy. Okay. I haven't seen any weirdness happening on our end.
No, we don't have. Yep, it says not 5x5 anymore.
Wow. That's so weird.
I actually seen my first Sasquatch not far from here in the sister city of Canyon City. I I lived on Main Street, and right across the hill from our house, there was one standing there watching me playing outside. And I was maybe 6 or 7 years old. And then I noticed it was somebody standing on the hill at the top of the trail in the tree, where the trees part because the trail went up there. Um, there's a mobile home there now in the way, but back in the 70s, that was just an empty lot. And so I thought it was a woman at first because I seen the long hair, along the top of the head come down to the shoulders. But then I noticed that the the late afternoon sun was backlighting the silhouette, and then I noticed the reddish brown hair just wasn't on the head; it was on the entire silhouette of this thing. And so I kind of knew what it was, and I ran in the house and I told everybody, "Hey, I just seen a Bigfoot! I just seen a Bigfoot!" And but by the time that I went in the house is right after it had turned around and started walking away. And my parents went up there the next day, and they said they'd seen footprints of where it was standing up there. But I don't know how long it was up there before, you know. But I had noticed that it was just standing there, probably watching me play outside, and everybody else was inside. My stepbrother, he was working on the pickup truck, so he had his head underneath the hood
Mm.
out on the street. And so I didn't say nothing to him. I just ran in the house after it walked away. So I got a pretty good look. I wish I could have seen more detail, but it was, I don't know how tall it was. It was pretty tall, I'd say. Probably a little taller than a normal adult. Um, but the reddish brown hair really stuck out because it was like lit up from behind by the afternoon sun, and the whole thing was just lit up in that reddish brown hair. And I noticed, that's not a woman.
Right.
Uh,
So where about was this?
just over in Canyon City,
Canyon City. Oh, I know where Canyon
yeah,
City is.
right next door to
It's
John Day.
just yeah, it's just south of John Day.
Okay, so let's get back to the chat. Gordon, known as Pappy Two Bears, says his musing is with the up and down trackway. It makes me wonder if it noticed it was leaving tracks and returned to the roadway to continue travel. And then Donna replies, or it snagged a deer running up the hill, then walked down with the deer over its shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I think. It went up there and
Come on.
snagged one and walked down the hill with it.
Yeah, more than likely, if the deer track ended there, and that's another thing too. I kind of agree with Pappy. Also, there has been a lot of people speculate that these creatures are very conscious about leaving tracks, and when they don't have to, they don't. So, like you said, you saw nothing across the street or
No,
down the road, so it might have been tracking the deer and saw the deer come up out of there, go up that hill. It came down the road, not leaving tracks, went up the hill as far as it had to grab the deer, then back down on the road, and then down the road and probably off into the ditch somewhere up or down the road a ways.
yeah.
That's my educated educated guess.
Yeah, I agree.
So
So, what's next?
what's next? Oh, Papa Craig said that's where his nana grew up, was in Canyon City.
Oh, right
Canyon
on.
City or Somerville?
Yep.
Are you sure?
What?
Said really Renee. They're talking about Somerville.
Oh,
there.
were they talking about some? I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up in the chat.
That's my job. Let me do my job. You do your job. I'll do my job.
Yeah. So I know Renee and I both grew up in a town called Somerville, if you know where that's at.
Yep.
It's just outside of La Grande, Oregon. Um,
I think something that happened to my stepson years ago when he lived in Somerville with his dad, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and
Wow.
he was out bow hunting. He said he shot this deer, and there was bright red blood, and he's pretty sure that it was, it was gonna die. And him and his friends looked everywhere for this deer, and he's like, it just disappeared. He's like, we should have found it,
Mm-hmm.
and no deer. And I'm like, well, it could have been a Bigfoot that snagged it, but
Yeah.
because he's like, there was nothing that looked like it dragged it away, just like the blood trail ended, and no deer,
And no deer. Yeah.
no deer.
Yeah. Oh dear, no deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've bow hunted in the Somerville area, and one year I did get a deer, and yeah, we did find it. It took a while, uh, but we did find it. But yeah, those blood trails keep going, especially the bow. If you're shot by a bow and there's a blood trail, they're easy to follow.
Yeah.
So, but they don't just end. They usually end at a deer. Yep.
Yeah. And I thought that was an
The-
interesting
The
story.
Bigfoot came and spirited away through a portal.
Yeah, that's it. Right through the nearest tree, right?
That's it. Hey,
Because all trees are portals.
if it works for Harry Potter, platform 9 3/4. Come on.
Yeah.
I have
Well, that's
not
very
done my
interesting.
annual Harry Potter binge. I don't know
No.
what's wrong with me.
I don't know.
Okay, so what's next?
So what's next? So I wanted to actually go back and ask you some questions about that sighting you had, and you said it was in Canyon City area.
Yep.
When was this? How long ago?
75, 76,
Oh, wow.
maybe even 77 at the latest. Um, I was only like 6, 7 years old at the time.
Okay. Wow. Do you remember what time of year it was?
I think it was probably late summer, like August, maybe.
Mhm.
It was still warm enough outside, but it was getting a little cooler in the late evenings.
Yeah. August, September.
And we had moved across the other side of the hill. We used to live on Rebel Hill Road, right across the street from an old schoolhouse. That the mayor lives there now. It's a really nice place. But my mother said that one night she heard screaming when we lived there. And she described it as really loud, sorrowful, but really, really loud. She says she knows it had to have been a Bigfoot because there's no way a person could have been that loud.
Right.
And it was sometime in the middle of the night.
Wow.
But that's all.
And this was around the same time as your sighting, right?
Yeah, back in the mid 70s.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
See, 75. How old was I?
12,
12. So,
maybe 13, depending on the time of year.
yeah. So,
13.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I was that age, in 12, we were in Somerville, and I would be
Probably 8th grade.
8th grade. Yeah. And we were chasing Bigfoot in the blues then on my motorcycle. So,
Wow.
Papa says, I'm assuming, making a grand assumption, sometimes it's hard to track, no pun intended, the conversation, but he says they're not easy to track if something picks them up and carries them off and your dog won't even track it. So thinking that a Bigfoot could have, they are stealthy, they know how to be quiet, and someone downs a deer or they shoot a bow, a bow isn't going to kill a deer as quick as a bullet will.
No.
And so that deer bounds off, leaving the blood trail, and that Bigfoot could quite possibly get to the deer before the humans. It's like easy easy eating.
Yeah,
Right there.
easy pickings. Yeah, which is very true. And there's been many cases that I've run across about dogs not tracking Bigfoot. In fact, one of the first times I ever heard about that was actually in the Legend of Boggy Creek movie. That's something they pointed out, that they brought in these tracking dogs, and none of them would track the Bigfoot.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, it's like they just refuse to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or they just cower down, go back to to the truck or something. And, yeah,
I'm
I've heard
wondering.
a lot of those reports.
I think our Daisy would just be dumb enough to go after one.
She might. I don't know.
She's weird. Anyway, so hey.
Hey, Galen, I haven't seen you around town since we've been back. Okay, we got.
All right, let's go back up to Donna. Then we will answer Galen. So Donna says she's found multiple tracks within a 3-month span in the same area, which is not populated at the time. Wonder if they're really conscious of leaving tracks or just wary of populated areas. Think they're smart enough to know the difference between a populated and an unpopulated area.
And probably when it's populated
Yeah.
and when it's not populated.
If they've, since we do, all indicators say that they have human-like intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna know when it's okay to leave tracks and when it's not.
Yeah, we tend to. The way I call it is, I think there are tool using intelligent, but not tool making intelligent.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've had guys show me walking sticks that they saw Bigfoot using and stuff like that. So, yeah, a deer would be an easy pickings in the area. I don't know. You might go back and check this out. Now, I have found when we get reports and stuff, if you notice that most of the reports I get in the John Day area are always in September and October.
Yep.
That makes
Which
sense.
yeah,
And the ones up here are primarily in like May and June, huckleberry season.
yeah, June.
You had your sighting in May.
Yeah, May and June.
Yeah.
That's when we get most of our sightings up here in Baker City area, is May and June. So I think they go south for the winter.
I would love to go south for the winter.
I know you would.
Anyway, all of my Facebook friends that are posting their pictures of Christmas on the beach, I kind of hate them right now. Anyway, so Galen, we're going to be here until about the last week of January. And so, yeah, shoot us a message. You know how to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
You want me to type
in the...
Yeah,
we're
here's
gonna
our
post
email, squatchamerica@gmail.com. There, you can just shoot us an email, and we will meet up for coffee or something.
Yep.
Nachos, coffee.
Nachos, coffee, whatever.
I have a small problem with
Yeah,
nachos.
yep. And something else, John. We want to get down to probably see you in person too in
Yes.
John Day area. You said this is still the tracks are kind of still there.
Yeah, they were still there 2 weeks ago when I went up there. They were still there. I don't.
All right, maybe
Doesn't
sometime
seem like
after
they've been
Christmas.
washed away yet.
Yeah.
I think because it's really rocky soil.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, yeah, we can get up there. Meet up at the Squeeze Inn.
Yeah.
There's some good salads there too.
Yeah.
They do. All right, I'll eat a salad, okay? I'll eat a salad.
You don't have to.
Actually, by after Christmas, I do need to eat a salad after, yes.
So, we'll get in touch and we'll see if we can meet up with you.
Yeah. All right. We've got, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 10 minutes.
So anything else for the good of the order other than we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Merry
Happy New
Christmas,
Year.
everybody.
Yep, we saw. Let's see, Donna's going to be at Mass. We got to find out from your mom whether she wants to go to a candlelight service tomorrow.
Or whatever.
Knock it off. So, all of you who are celebrating religiously, bless you. If you are celebrating with a smoked turkey like Renee, why didn't we know beforehand? We would come
Yeah,
to your
Renee.
house.
Renee's a little further away.
Yeah,
So-
she is. Just a little bit. It's not
Yeah.
that far. It is over cabbage right now, and we don't want to go over cabbage this time of year. So just have a wonderful holiday. And for those of you who actually like us, who just kind of take the holiday off and nestle in and don't do much of anything, enjoy that. That is, I tell you what, slow, quiet, doing nothing holidays are my favorite. So however you choose to celebrate, enjoy your holiday season. Are we going to be taking next week off?
We are.
Okay, so no show next week. We will send out an email. I am reducing the amount of emails that our subscribers get to once a week, so we will throw something in the email on Monday, and we will see you the first week of January. So, with that said,
Well, then, thank you, John, for
Yes.
coming on with us and
You're
hanging out.
welcome. Thank you
And,
for having me.
Hey, no problem. And we will, like I said, I'll get in touch with you and see when we can come down and maybe meet you in person and go check that out.
that would be fun. That'd
Okay.
be fun. So,
All right.
so back
Let's
to
see.
my holiday well wishes.
Okay.
Next week is, of course,
Just hang tight, John. I know you're still there.
Yeah. Next week, have a wonderful and a happy New Year celebration. Please be smart. Please be responsible. Don't drink and drive. All that stuff. And we will see you next time in 2022, which is going to be the best year ever. I'm knocking on all sorts of wood right now.
Yes. I want to see the the terms of service for 2022 before I agree to it. So,
All right.
all right. So with that said,
Our job is to investigate the unexplained.
not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until we see you in 2022, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Please like and subscribe and click the bell and do all the things and share this with a degree of obnoxiousness that will make your friends subscribe and join us just to shut you up.
There you go.
I love it. Nag them into becoming part of the fam.
Uh-huh.
And until we see you again, keep it squatchy. And
Go out and find Bigfoot.
bye.
Bye. I gotta find where's the out thing? There we go.